probably pay attention to the road. I just left work, and that's a big pothole. Man, power steering pump's not happy. But, what's up, guys? Like I said, I just left work on my way home. I watched some videos today of myself from way back when. Just random videos. And I kind of thought of something. It's like, I should come out with a list of things to do, or to keep in mind, and to do, practice, whatever you want to say, while you have, right after you have surgery and you just get your dentures for the very first time. Number one, probably one of the most important, because it's like, it's now and then you're going to come back. We're going to come back to this as well. But number one, keep your dentures in your mouth, people. Fucking do it. No, I mean, I did it, and most people do it. They say that it's the smallest amount of people that for some reason don't. But naturally, I'm assuming this is how they tell everybody, but naturally they told me that when I'd wake up from surgery, that I would wake up with dentures in my mouth. Now, being as I've woken up from my surgery, I was pretty fucking loopy. So I wasn't thinking. Son of a bitch. Realized I left my cell phone charger at work. Sucks. But unfortunately, I got a second one, so I'm not completely shit out of luck, but that's just unfortunate. Anyways, sorry. Back to what I was talking about. I woke up, heavily drugged, so my brain really wasn't thinking what was and wasn't in my mouth until I started actually coming to and being more alive and alert, and they were talking to me, and it was like, my mouth was numb and I couldn't feel a damn thing at all. So they were like, hey, your mouth's full of gauze because the bleeding and swelling was bad, blah 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 blah. You'll have to take this to the person who makes your dentures and actually have them, because, I had surgery separate from where my dentures were made. So they gave them back to me, and then they told me that I'd have to take them back to where I had them made at and have them put them in when my swelling goes down, because I had an appointment the day after. And, so I didn't even know, besides I knew I had shit in my mouth, but I didn't know. I don't have to stop anymore. Besides the fucking things, gauze in my mouth, I couldn't tell if there was teeth or not, so I didn't have teeth. And no, fortunately, my swelling was down within the next day enough that we could put them on, but they took them off, and they told me that I should only put them on for intervals at a time until my swelling goes down all the way. And that a lot of times what happens is people get comfortable with having their dentures out, and they think oh, well, I only really need to have them in when I need to eat something, so they just don't put them in. What happens is when your mouth heals over time, and it heals without that denture in there, it's gonna bug and bother and fuck with you the rest of your life every time you put your dentures in, and you're gonna be like, why is this? Why is my life decided that I can't get over, the I can't get used to dentures. But realistically, what it comes down to is you didn't have your dentures in when your mouth healed. So that's the thing. But here's a don't on top of a do. Alright? Don't decide to not take them out. That was my idea. My idea was, I don't like blood. And I don't like there's too many driving distractions today. Like, I'm coming up to a flagger, I think, so I'm gonna have to slow down again. But it is. See, that person just broke the law, because you're not only supposed to go around these people, you're supposed to go slow around these people. That asshole just flew past that dude at fucking 55. But yeah, so I don't like blood, and then when you add saliva to blood, it turns into a nasty mess, let's just put it that way. And I knew that every time I took my dentures out, I was gonna have the bloody, nasty shit that would come out. And I really didn't want to deal with that or see it. So my first natural reaction, being as I was not used to dentures, was, well, I'll just leave them in. I left them for 2 weeks without taking them out. I got really lucky, pretty much. And I went to my dentist for my 2-week appointment, and when they were there, they took them out, and the woman said something. I don't know if I had food up in there or what the case was, but they asked me, "You been taking these out?" And I was like, "No." And they were like, "What?" And I was like, and I told them, and they were not happy at all. Mainly due to the fact of, if you eat food goes into the top of your dentures, regardless to if you want it to or not. It happens. It's I guarantee I got little particles up there right now. You don't know they're there. I don't feel them. Sometimes you do, but I mean, as of now, I mean, what's up there right now isn't, bothering me at all. But I guarantee it's there. And you gotta think, if I ate food and it sat there for 2 weeks and never got removed, and I had a whole gums of cut up and stitches that could easily have been infected by the littlest of little, I got pretty lucky. So that's one of the reasons why you definitely don't want to leave your dentures in your mouth, but you definitely need to keep them in to get used to it. So obviously the best cause of action at that point would be to wake up in the morning, put your dentures in, go all day, take your dentures out when you go to bed. That way you're giving your mouth some time to, heal / breathe without having plastic covering it. But at the same time, you're still getting used to your denture. You're still getting adjusted to it, because that's also going to help in the long run for when it comes to talking. The more you're adjusted to your denture, the easier it's going to be for you to relearn how to talk. And yes, you do have to relearn how to talk. Is it like what it is when you're a child? No. You know what the words are. You just have to relearn how to verbally be able to pronunciate things without being like all the time. That's where Toothless Tuesdays came from. If you have never seen a Toothless Tuesday, I apologize. They're one of my favorite videos I've ever made. And, or series of videos I've ever made, I should say. And, pretty much it's just me learning how to talk with my dentures out of my mouth, because if you watch the first Toothless Tuesday, I mean, from beginning to end, it's pretty much every word I say, it's just behind it, because I can't control it. But if you watch then a more recent Toothless Tuesday, you'll see that's complete opposite. Whereas I could talk like fluid, complete sentences, and it's only the S words that trip me up and make me slur, which is pretty cool. But fortunately, as you can probably tell from that window, it's snowing. But I'm gonna go, guys. This was just one small helpful tidbit as to keeping your dentures in. I will be bringing more of these out. I'm gonna just keep going through some old videos and thinking of watching things that were pretty dominant that I, maybe I've forgotten right now because I haven't had to actually deal with that bullshit for almost a year and a half now. So that's pretty cool. But for everybody else out there that is currently going through this, and that you need to know what's helpful and what's not, because I don't want to let you just go at it alone. Got fucking hat. Today has just been a very odd day for me. I don't really know why exactly, but it's not really been completely normal. I keep making mistakes, small mistakes. It's just like I'm tired or something, like my day's just off. And I'm just sitting here chuckling about it because I'm thinking about the whole time that I've just recorded this vlog. I've mid-conversation stopped like 4 or 5 times because my brain went off on something else while I was talking. And that's just life. But hey guys, if you like this video, a like would be much appreciated. If you're new to the channel, you should subscribe to keep up with this awesome content that you love to watch. And if you're new to the channel, I already said that, god damn it. If you're already a part of the channel, you can share the video and show other people how fucking forgetful I am. And if you have already had your dentures, you can tell me what you did, because maybe you were smart and just did what you were supposed to, took them in and took them out. Maybe you just never put them in, and maybe you just never took them out. Who knows? But the world of possibilities is beyond endless. And we're gonna come back. I look like a Dutch boy. I'm gonna cut my fucking hair tonight. Cheer. See ya later.